You don't know me, but I'm Carlson. I'm I'm sure you know my cousin, Tucker Carlson. I'm Tucker's cousin, and I'm coming to you live from Vermont. I'm not too far from my cousin's home. His is a little nicer than mine, let's say. He's had a little more success than I have with my podcasts, but I'm hoping that I'm going to grow, and at the end of this, I'll show you where you can subscribe to the Carlson Show. But appreciate you tuning in. And today I'm going to have not Putin, but somebody who did meet Putin at one time. So before I go on, I want to ask, what did my cousin do wrong? What did Tucker Carlson do wrong? Nothing. Nothing. Except report honestly about everything. So I'm trying to fill in maybe anything that he might have not had time to look into. So here I am, Carlson. I know nobody knows me, but that's okay, because I like being kind of under the radar, because that allows me for honest interviews like the one I'm having today with someone who I think met Putin. Now listen, I'm not I'm not for sure if it actually happened, but he told me that it did. So for today, we're going to consider the possibility that Putin. I know you saw I hope you saw my cousin's interview with Putin, which was it was a learning experience for me. I didn't even know about a lot of the history of the Russia, Soviet Union, Ukraine. So now, going forward, I think we have to look at where we go with this and what we do with this information. So, stay tuned and please subscribe. And Carlson. It's a good cup of coffee. Hi, and welcome back to the Carlson Show. And we're going to be doing a series of interviews with people that have met Putin or have some relation to Putin. As you know, my cousin Tucker has interviewed Putin, which I found just riveting. And so now we're going to go, hopefully, if not deeper, a little just variations of how people perceive Putin and how maybe he. I don't know. We're just going to try to give you a little bit better a feel for who he is. So this first interview, we're going to be doing a series. The first interview will be with someone who we've agreed to keep anonymous because of his profile. He's very well known and as a political figure himself. So we've agreed to muffle his voice and to allow his anonymity to be intact. So without further ado, I want to welcome our guest here, and thank you by the way for coming on to Carlson.
My pleasure.
Wow, I don't even know where to begin. But I guess first, just how did you first meet Putin?
Well, frankly, we met a very long time ago. As you know, well, I am under anonymity, but I think probably my voice is hidden. So we met back in 1982, Carl. It was a great time. It was a golfing excursion. We were in Ireland, and we were friends of friends. And we got together. It was a great time. We were just playing golf.
And did you feel like at the time that you had a relationship that was at least an understanding, or at least where you felt like that Russia was not a threat to the United States?
Well, at the time, Carl, the Cold War had basically just ended. I was really great friends with Reagan, probably the best friend that he's ever had. Let's be honest. And another thing that was happening at the time is I would go there. I loved caviar, okay, and I love hunting polar bears. So I'd go up there.
I'm a hunter too, as is my cousin.
As we all know, you're a great hunter. You and I have hunted several times. Okay, but anyway, we started a political, basically, relationship. He respects me, and I respect him, but he respects me a lot more than I do him. Let's put it that way, Carl.
Excellent.
Okay.
And how do you feel about what
Okay,
what?
Carl. Yeah. Good. Go ahead.
Hey, let me ask this.
Sure.
Do you feel like if you had the opportunity to meet with Putin now, that you would be able to communicate where we could, I guess, alleviate this war with the Ukraine?
I have no doubt, Carl, that I could solve this war basically in 10-minute phone call. Okay? I don't even have to fly over there. He doesn't have to fly over here. I just wag my finger basically virtually over a Zoom call. And I just say, Mr. Putin, you know I've got the button. I'm not afraid to use it. You know me. I know you. You're a good guy. I'm a good guy. I'm a better guy, but we all know that. And frankly, Carl, I could have this thing taken care of by dinner. Okay?
Well, I'm not quite sure how that relates to what I'm.
Carl, do you like dinner?
I do.
Well, then you know it's great to have dinner without a war. Okay? And that's what I'm promising.
Well, now, how do you feel like we are handling it presently?
Presently, we've got a jokester in the White House. He's fumbling idiot. Everybody knows he's probably right now eating some porridge in his pajamas. Okay, quite frankly, this is true. So we're not looked upon the world in a great light right now, to be frank. Things are going awry. We're not respected by China. Okay, China. North Korea, all right. I had all of these countries in the palm of my hand eating little bits of squirrel food, and now we've got shit for brains in there. Sorry to cuss.
No. I cuss. So no, it's fine. I understand. And sometimes
We're hunters.
We are hunters, and sometimes you need to cuss
happens.
to make a point. And I
Locker
understand.
room talk.
I understand. Absolutely, I understand. Well, let me. I'm trying to think. There's so many things I want to ask you right now.
Go for it.
I just I feel like we, as my cousin has said, I feel like we never should have entered this war. And I feel like I'm sure you saw the interview that Tucker did with Putin, and he gave the history of the relationship with Ukraine, and did you feel like that served a purpose, or did you feel that was a little off the necessary discussion?
Look, it was a long form interview, okay, and he has every right to give the history. He's trying to do what he thinks is best so that we can best understand what his positioning, right? I mean, anybody could understand that. He's trying to explain his position. And if he needs to do that, I don't see why it's a bad thing necessarily. Okay, you can just always fast forward that part. You know, there's a little double arrow right next to the play button, and if you hit it, okay, it jumps forward. If you don't want to hear the whole history, so quit the whining. Quit the whining.
Was there anything that surprised you from that interview? Anything that you didn't, that from your previous relationship with Putin, that he said or did in that interview that was illuminating in any way?
Look, your cousin Tucker, he's a great patriot. We love him, but frankly, he was overrun in that interview. He was taken advantage of. Putin does what he wants to do. He took control, which is expected. There's nothing unexpected about that. And to be frank, what you have to do with somebody like that is when they give a 30-minute history lesson, you give an hour lesson, okay? Put him to sleep. That's what I do. I put him in a chokehold. Basically a verbal chokehold, Carl.
I think you could do it. I do think you could do
Oh,
it.
I can do it. I've done it many times, and I'm the best at doing it. Let me tell you.
Well, we're going to take a break for a second, sir. And again, we appreciate having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, one moment while I think of some more riveting questions So let me ask you this, if you don't mind. If you were in the room right now, today, if possible, how would you negotiate the United States out of this conflict and the Ukraine out of this conflict? How would you negotiate, deal, if you will, with Putin?
Well, there's one of two ways, okay? One is we can do a phone call and we can be civil and probably get things done, like I said, Carl, in 10 minutes, okay? By dinner is what
10
I
minutes.
say.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Now, if we wanted to go the long form, okay? Bridge building, as I call it. You know, he's a gangster. And from one gangster to another, you know, I'm America's gangster, right? I'm America's favorite gangster. Okay? I'm a badass. Everybody knows it. Carl. That's why you're having me on your program. Let's face it, your ratings are not quite there.
I'm just starting.
I'm getting you millions of viewers, millions of eyeballs. And so you're coming to me just like Putin.
We don't know who you are, sir, but yes, right.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. But I'm on your show, let's say, for a reason, okay? And let me just say that it's quite easy for somebody like me, whoever I may be, all right?
And some may identify you by your voice. I'm not sure, sir. It's possible.
Well, I know that right now, due to our agreement, that we are cloaking my voice.
We tried, sir, but we have a very low production value here. I think,
Is your...
Phil, did we? I think some of it will
Are you saying that my voice isn't disguised as we had discussed?
pretty,
Uh-oh!
pretty disguised. Pretty disguised.
So I don't know what you're thinking, but it's got to be fixed, okay? This is in our contract, Carl. This is very unprofessional.
What would you ask Putin?
What are you wearing?
Right. What are you wearing? If you're on a phone call, yeah.
Because if you think about it, Carl, it's the most embarrassing question to answer, okay? You don't even want to give an answer. But sometimes when I ask the question, you know it's a serious one, frankly. Yep. It's the best question to ask somebody like that, okay? He's going to say a suit and tie. When we all know he's in a tracksuit.
Are you talking about Zelensky or are we talking about? Oh, no. What would you ask? Would you ask Zelensky the same question?
We all know that he only wears tracksuits, so no sense.
Right.
He's a milk dud.
And so once you've established the milk dud status, what question might you follow up with whatever they're wearing?
We don't ask Zelensky, we just tell him what our decisions are. That's how this goes. I told you, Carl, listen, I need you to pay attention to me because it's very important. And I only say it once, okay? I'm the gangster. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's been an honor.
I gotta run.
Thank you, sir. You want to see if we can hear or see it?
God, yeah.
There was a lot, I know, but we just kind of see what we